Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Caught me right there in the middle of a stretch. Sorry about that. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Monkey in the Morning. I'm your host, the Ranting Monkey. Hope you're having a wonderful Saturday out there. Well, in 8 minutes. Hope everybody's well. Hope you're having a great day. I'm all right. Not worth talking about. My nose is running like crazy. Huh. Scared the cat earlier sneezing. Poor Phoebe. I sneezed and then I look and she's on the floor all cowered like, what the hell was that? She's heard me sneeze before. But apparently I was louder today. You guys have kind of calmed me down. I got to stop reading chat before I go live because I'm actually pretty angry. But interacting with you guys, talking about turning on the heat. When you're a child, that's not something you think about, right? I don't remember when I was old enough to be like, okay, it's time to turn the heat on this year. You know, it was just heat was there and cold was there when we needed it. And now I live with a woman who's like, hey, not before October 1st. We don't want to turn the heat on before October 1st. I have a little space heater in my room, and that sumbitch was running during the summer at certain points. It gets cold overnight. And so, yeah, I'm a grown-up. It's one of those things where you're just like, oh, damn, I'm a grown-up. We worry about when we turn the heat on. As for the gray hair discussion going on, I don't even want to talk about that. I have a beautiful head of hair. I don't care what color it is. It can go purple as long as it's natural because I'm not putting any crap in my hair. But otherwise, as long as I have it and I'm, sexy and I know it. Look, I have a big old head and I can't imagine it would look good bald. It's the only reason I'm, so attached to my hair. I think it would look very weird bald. And you can feel there's a bump over on the right side. Yeah. The hell am I even talking about? Hi guys, let's do the show. Let's talk about why I'm angry. Sniperwolf. This fucking bitch. Jesus Christ. All right, so we've talked about the Sniperwolf situation. She goes out there and she makes these really bad videos where she responds to TikToks, where most of the time it's not even much of a response. She'll be like, oh my God. My favorite thing she does is when she tries to sound street. She's this middle-class white girl who's now a rich white girl who tries to come off like she came from the ghetto. And it is so pathetic. Like, white girl, you ain't even seen a black person before. Stop it. Stop it. But Jax Films is a channel who just did a video on her. It's like, this chick is freebooting. She's taking other people's content, oftentimes hiding the person's their on TikTok, they have their little at whoever it is from TikTok, hiding that. So you can't even see it on the screen. And not giving any of these creators any kind of shout out for, hey, this is where we got this from. And he calls her out for it in this video. And she got pissy about it. And so he makes a whole channel just ripping her off, basically doing her shtick, except she's so lazy in her content. He couldn't even do it. He couldn't even sit there and react like she does because he had so much more to say and actually has thoughts in his head. But anyway, she gets very upset about that. And last week, she decided to go to his house. She goes to his house over this. She shows up at his house, takes a picture of it, puts it up on Instagram, and basically calls him a puss because he won't come out and talk to her. Let's talk. And then says when he gets upset about this, some people just are farming drama. Yeah, you bitch. Anyway, YouTube has not responded for the last week. The whole last week, they've been like, we don't know what y'all are talking about. Tons of people daily hitting them up. Hey, are you guys going to look at this? Are you going to do anything about this? Including Jax Films himself. This goes back to October 13th. This is the day of the incident. And he tweeted at them this. SSSniperwolf just doxed me on her Instagram. Creepy, gross, violating. What you do is disgusting. You steal content and stalk YouTubers. At YouTube, demonetize this dangerous creator or just get her off your platform, she posted an Instagram story right outside our home and deleted it. And on the screen there, he has a screenshot of her where she went to her Instagram followers and put up a poll asking, hey, should I go to this guy's house? Should I go see him? The answer to that is no. Absolutely should not. Well, YouTube, a week later, has finally responded. 7 full fucking days later, they finally respond. And they say this: confirming SSSniperwolf has received a temporary monetization suspension per creator responsibility policies. Off-platform actions that put others' personal safety at risk, harm our community, and the behavior on both sides isn't what we want on YouTube. Hoping everyone helps move this convo to a better place. I'm sorry. I'm stumbling there, not because I can't read it and not because of my normal stumbling, but I wanted to read it all before I responded, and my brain kept going, say something, say something, say. So let's go back to the beginning of this. Confirming she's received a temporary monetization suspension. It's an interesting choice of words. It's a very interesting choice of words. Now, I haven't been kicked out of the monetization thing, but I know many people who have, and I've seen the emails that they send to people when they are demonetized. And what it says is this: you've been demonetized. In 6 months, you can try and apply again for monetization. Not you will be monetized. Not you will. This says she's temporarily, but this is saying she's getting her monetization back. There's no question about it. She's getting it. She's being told up front, hey, no big deal. No big deal. You'll get it back. Just wait, whatever. They don't even tell us how long. And she doesn't either, because we're going to read her statement in a second. But they're already saying she's getting it back. It's barely even a punishment. Frankly, she should be kicked off the platform for this. I am not one who's normally for deplatforming. This bitch showed up at his house. That should not be allowed, and that should be something that the strictest of rules come down on. And YouTube's like, we're going to take her out of the monetization for a month or so. You know, we'll just do something. We'll slap her on the hand. We'll slap her on the ass and see them boobies jiggle. We'll get to the boobies in a minute. All right, let's read her statement. Let me start by saying, I should if I could do her fake ass ghetto accent, I'd do that way. By the way, this is a woman who once said, black women look ugly without makeup on. That's a real thing. And she posted that. Let me start by saying I'm sorry for my recent actions. It is inexcusable. I'm sorry to Jack's Film. She doesn't even get his name right, and she does it twice in this post. I'm sorry to Jack Film, YouTube, the entire creator community, and my incredible fans for not being a better example for appropriate conflict resolution. Jack's Film. See, she got it wrong twice. It's Jack's Films. There's an S at the end of it. While we certainly, she's so pissed at this guy, she went to his house, doesn't even know his YouTube handle. For fuck's sake. And it's not like she's trying to save, like to get the 280 limit in there. She has a blue check. She can write as long as she wants, and this is clearly more than that. So it's not like she's even saving time. This is how little she actually gives a fuck about what happened. I can't even be bothered to, be a decent person. Jack's Film. While we certainly don't see eye to eye and have our differences, I am sorry for reacting the way I did when I should have taken the opportunity to show young creators how adults and professionals resolve conflict by communicating directly, respectfully, or privately, not for views or content, but a meaningful example of how conflict should be solved. By the way, they have had this out on Twitter before. He has a whole video where he watches some of her stuff, and I think it's like every 10 or 15 seconds. he shows one of her responses to him on Twitter. So it's not like she's never reached out to him in any other manner before, and they haven't had discussion before. I should have done it. Now you should have stayed doing it. She makes it sound like just she popped it off and like, fuck off. I will reach out directly and hope we can find some time to connect and communicate respectfully. If I'm Jack's film, I tell her to get fucked. I really do. Look, after I've come to your house, now I will just talk to you respectfully. Fuck you. Why would I engage you in that? Hi, King Fernor. Hello. Team YouTube probably made her post that because they've been getting bent over on social media for not banning her. It was probably part of the agreement because let me tell you, this is not like a normal punishment on YouTube. I promise you, this is not like a normal punishment on YouTube. She is a big creator. Sorry, my nose is running something fierce here. She's a huge creator who YouTube has pumped up several times, not just on YouTube, but on Twitter. So this is them. They went behind the scenes like, okay, we got to do something here, Leah. We realize that you're a psycho bitch, and we're afraid of you too, but we got to do something here. So how about you put out a little statement, and we'll take away your monetization for a week. I really wish they'd tell us how long it was. For most people, it's at least 6 months. Do you guys think she's waiting 6 months? I bet she's not. Anyway, where are we? I'd also like to thank YouTube for holding me accountable. That right there is how you know that this was planned. I've never seen any other creator who gets in trouble who are like, oh, thank you, YouTube. You held me accountable. I deserve it. Respect the decision. I'd respect the decision too if this was what happened to me. I lost my ability to stream for over a week for making making jokes about a political ad that was shown on televisions. And I wasn't allowed to stream for a fucking week. I couldn't do my job at all. Anyway, I respect the decision and appreciate the opportunity to learn and grow from a true lapse in judgment. It's not a lapse in judgment. You're a fucking psycho. You're fucking psycho. That shouldn't even have been something that entered into your heart. How the fuck did you know how close his house was to where you were? Going back to that other one. Let's see what she posted there. Should I go visit Jack's films? He lives 5 minutes away from my shoot. How did you know that? How did you? I don't know the people. The only person I know how far away I live from is my son. And that's because he lives right down the street. Even my daughter, I'd have to give you a guesstimate of how far away she lives. But she's like, he's 5 minutes away. She had his fucking address already. It was a temporary lapse in judgment. No, you're a crazy psycho bitch. Thank you, tall person. Happy Bridge Day. Considering you are selling bridges, do you think you can incorporate this into your sales pitch? If it's Bridge Day, for those of you dumb enough to buy them, now is the day. That's as good as I got, man. When I saw this, I actually got angry. I really did. And I stepped away from Twitter because I knew in my state that I was like, I will say shit that'll actually get me banned from Elon's Twitter. And the reason being is I've seen so many people. Sinatra, when he lost his, I don't know if he ever got it back. Last I knew, YouTube was still holding a lot of his money. He got the, hey, you can try again later email, and they've been like, nah, we can't even hear that you're talking to us. They've just absolutely ignored him over and over and over again. And he reached out over and over. He did it on Twitter. He did it in emails. He tried and tried and tried. No. And what was his crime? That's a good question. Nobody's ever been able to tell us. Thank you, Kingslayer Damocles, speaking of sin. Sinatra got permanently demonetized and YouTube stole his super chat money for having opinions. She can just straight up dox a dude and get a 10-day suspension. What a joke. She didn't even get suspended, dude. She just got her monetization temporarily suspended. Yeah, Sinatra said words. He didn't go to anybody's house. He didn't encourage anybody to go to anybody's house. He didn't dox anybody. Never could get it back. I wasn't sure if he ever got it back or not. I haven't spoke to him in a long time. But last I knew, they were sitting on $3,000 of his because he can't get that money unless he's in the partnership program, and they won't let him back in the partnership program. But she just gets a temporary. They're telling her out of the gate. This is what I was talking about. She knows she's getting back into the partnership program. And YouTube is like, what? This is the punishment she deserves. Now I want to show you something else. Her lapse in judgment here. This is what she posted. It was either the next day or the day after. This is her and her sister, apparently. And it says, we show up at your house. What you do? This is her mocking the situation. And by the way, YouTube put out a thing, reacting to reacting. Is that too meta? I mean, acknowledging that they know the situation is going on. That wasn't accidental. It just happened to fall in all of this where Jack is reacting to her and all of this is blown up. Everybody's aware of the situation and she's just getting away with it. She's just getting away with it. I can't think of anything else other than the boobies, man. This is a 30-year-old woman who dresses like she's 16 and has on makeup that makes her look about 20-ish in a hairstyle that makes her look 4. And she goes from talking like a baby to trying to talk all straight. She is a ridiculous caricature of a retard, honestly. But she brings in the views, guys. She brings in a ton of views for them. Largely because they push her constantly. Mighty Balzac, thank you. It's Sinatra's fault for not having tits. Fair enough. Fair enough. There's tons of other creators who could be much larger than her. But YouTube pushes this chick constantly. Why? Somebody at YouTube is tapping this. That's the best answer I got. If this was a dude who did this, they would have been kicked off the platform that day. And it wouldn't matter how big they were. It'd be, no, this is a line you cannot cross. No, sorry. That's too far. But she gets away with it because, yeah, I'm telling you, she's got to be banging somebody there. There's nothing else makes sense. YouTube, if she's not banging somebody there, you guys are doing things wrong. You're doing it wrong. Because that's how they're supposed to, how semi-attractive women who throw on a lot of makeup to look even more attractive are supposed to get ahead, is by sleeping their way to the top. If you're just doing it for free, then you're fucking retarded. Simps are everywhere. I'd let her slide for some. I wouldn't. There are certain things you can't let slide. For all of her other retardation, well, not all of her other retardation. This is another thing that came out because people have been digging through her stuff because she's such a horrible bitch. But she has a video up where she went on another chat site and got an underage girl, or at least a girl who said she was underage, to flash her boobies at her. And she put it up on a YouTube video. A video that, at least until the other day, was still up. And YouTube's like, we'll just demonetize her for a little bit. Hi, King Fernor, thank you again. Was just reading that only her new videos are demonetized. Apparently, her old ones are still getting revenue. If that's true, I don't even know how YouTube does that. Because the way you're supposed to get cut is you're out of the partnership program. And that stops all revenue. So if that's what's happening, that has to be something that's a new thing. That's a very new thing if that's what's really going on. That's nasty, fam. That's right. That's nasty, fam. That's nasty. It's gross. It's really gross. And this is when she's like 23, 24 years old, and she's talking to a supposed 15 or 16-year-old. I forget how old. But yeah, and has the girl flash her boobies. They're supposed to flash each other, and the minor flashes her, and then she's like, "Nah, never mind," and leaves. And put it up on YouTube. She is a dirty, dirty girl, and she should be kicked off for so many things. But this latest one, I do not understand how YouTube can do this and then tell us with a straight face, there's not two standards here on YouTube. Yes, there is. We all know it. Y'all are just, you're full of shit and you're bad people, and you support bad people as long as you know they are your favorites. I don't know how you become a favorite. I really don't. Because seriously, her content is trash. It is just straight trash. I did watch part of her newest video where she's clearly trying to make an effort to respond more, and good on you for doing that. Good on you for doing it. It's just not entertaining at all. But she does go into her blackness, which is my favorite thing. It really is. You guys got to see it to believe it. I would show it, but we're on the crappier internet, so it'll be all janky. Go watch it for yourself. It is so bad when she tries to be street. You are a spoiled rich white woman. Stop it. Just stop it. Oh, anyway, so that's all I have to say about that. Fuck this and fuck YouTube for that nonsense. That is bullshit. And I have been punished harder than that, literally for just words. Just words. That's all. I was punished harder for that for having any questions about the election. Couldn't tell you what I said because they didn't tell me. Anyhow, let's move along. Oh, this shit. I do wonder a lot of times in these situations, you know, once the punishment is handed out, it just blows over. And I'm wondering if that's going to happen in this case because they ignored it forever. Nobody's happy about this punishment except SSSniperwolf. She's like, oh, yeah, I fully accept this. I bet you do, you dirty whore. But nobody else is happy about it. And I'm interested to see if YouTube revisits it or if they're just going to hope this is enough, stay quiet, and maybe a new controversy will pop up next week. It is the internet. Shit happens quickly. Wait a couple of days, a new thing will pop up. But in this case, man, she went to his house. So I don't know. I lost my last channel for talking about the coof. Oh my goodness. I'm so sorry. Yeah, got the little minor hiccups here. Yeah, I know a lot of people have lost channels. If you go over to Team YouTube, who made that comment, go over to Team YouTube on Twitter and just go to their thing, click on replies so you can see their posts and replies. You'll see them today responding to people who've lost their channels. I don't know what those people did. I'll bet you they didn't go to somebody's house. I'll bet you they didn't. But anyway, boobs win once again. A perky. That's all you got to be to get away with all kinds of shit. Gentlemen, it's not fair. It is the way of the world. We all know that. So yes, we do have to be better than women. And when I say better than women, I don't mean, oh, we're better than you. There's things we can't do that they get away with. You just accept it. However, that doesn't mean don't push to have some sense of fairness. I'm just going to say she deserves to be kicked off the platform by YouTube's rules, by YouTube's actions in the past. She should not be on this platform. For showing up at the guy's house, she should not be on this fucking platform. And the fact that they give her a platform and praise her and push her is disgusting to me. And it's not enough to make me quit YouTube. Believe me, I thought about it today. When I saw that, I'm like, I wonder how Rumble only would do. Because I have trouble with this. Look, there's a lot of times where, you know, we have people get demonetized or censored in some way here on YouTube. And while I don't necessarily agree with it, like, okay, I understand. Not always, but sometimes. This is one I don't understand. This is one that makes no sense. This is one where it should be YouTube is like, we don't even want to do this, but we have no choice. You left us zero choice. We want you to be a big person on our platform, but you went too fucking far. The one thing we didn't talk about there, I did skip that one part. And it's an important part. And it's the part that actually angered me. The part that actually sent me on a mini rage there for a moment. Where is it? Let me bring that back on the screen. I can't believe I glossed over it as I was just rambling here. Off-platform actions that put others' personal safety at risk, harm our community, and the behavior on both sides isn't what we want on YouTube. They are comparing her going to his house, or at least putting it in the same category, as him pointing out that she steals content and doesn't give people the recognition for being the people she stole from. To them, like, hey, both sides screwed up here. Both got he fucked up, y'all. The off-platform actions. This is in the same sentence. Off-platform actions that put others' personal safety at risk. He did nothing like that. Nothing at all. And they both cited this bullshit. YouTube, seriously, whoever's making those decisions, they should be fired. Again, this is one of those situations where even if you didn't, have you guys ever been in that situation where you have somebody you're working with and you have to fire them? And it's like, I don't want to. You're a good worker, but you left me no choice here. When you work at like Walmart, you'll run into that with thieves. Like somebody will steal a piece of candy. Like, I'm sorry. I like you. You're a good guy. It was 25 cents. I wish I could just let you pay for it, but you went too far. There's times when you're an employer where it's like, you left me no choice. And that's what should have happened here. Unfortunately, these people, all they care about is that she's got boobies. She's got boobies, man. Boobs win again. Boobs always win. Let that be a lesson to you out there. Boobs always win. Kyle says, I'm flabbergasted. I'm angry. I really am. I'm a lot calmer than I was. I went and played Fable for a while. In my off time, lately I've been playing Fable again. Is it the remastered collection? Whichever one it is. I've had it for years, and I never finished it on PC. I finished it on PlayStation a couple of times, but never on PC. So I was like, fuck it, let's go play that. And so I went out there and did some Fabling and calmed myself down. Because both sides, really? Both sides. All right. They still come to her defense. She's why MGTOW exists. Yeah. She's why you have people out there who are like, these damn women, they just get all the promotion and stuff on social media, because they do. Women like her who have no discernible talent, who literally have spent the last several years just stealing other people's content, and who are clearly psycho. But boy, does YouTube love her. Boy, do they love her. All right, let's move along. Let's talk about Greta Thunberg. Oh, Greta. Now, on your screen is a picture of Greta Thunberg, and I don't know who this hippie group is she's sitting with. I imagine it smells really bad there, like unwashed vagina, pee, ass, maybe a little clove cigarette in there somewhere. But they decided to post this picture: "Free Palestine. This Jew stands with Palestine. Stand with Gaza." And for some reason, climate justice now up there in the upper right. Why? I don't know. I don't know what climate justice has to do with Gaza, but apparently it does. And if you look right next to Greta's head, there's a little octopus, a little stuffed octopus. Now, this caused a little bit of a controversy because some people have used the octopus as a anti-Semitic trope. They use the octopus to show that the Jews just have their little tentacles into everything. And Greta didn't know that. She didn't know that. She just put this up there, and I'm not making this up. She says because that little octopus there helps calm her down. Okay, that's odd. I've never seen it when you're getting arrested. I didn't see you with your little octopus there. But apparently for this picture to hold up your stand with Gaza thing, you just had to have the octopus there, huh? You just you know what? Hang on, wait, guys. Before we snap this picture, let me stick this octopus right up next to my head. How come when it's the left, any accidental, and I'm using huge air quotes here, any accidental racism or anti-Semitism, any of that stuff, it's just an accident. She didn't know, you guys. She didn't know. But if it's a right-winger who honestly had no clue, and you can tell, like through other context clues and stuff, they're like, no, it wasn't even. They take the okay sign. Remember that? Anybody using the okay sign, if they had any right-wing belief, like, look, they had the white power sign. And like, nah, bro, I was literally doing an Eddie Murphy impersonation. What are you talking about? How come on the left, anytime they're, caught being blatantly racist or, hating Jews, it's just an accident. It's just an accident. By the way, despite the fact that she needs that to calm her, that is her emotional support stuffed octopus. They were able to take another picture without it because she took this picture down and then put up one without it. So thank God she was able to overcome the emotional stress of putting a picture online. That to me is why I know she's full of shit. You're telling me that's your emotional support stuffed octopus? Really? That's where you went? All right. Now I forget who it was, but they reposted this picture because she took it down and said, "Name this band." The sad part? It actually kind of does look like a band. It kind of looks like the Ramones' retarded sisters. Anyhow, enough of Greta Thunberg and her racist octopus. I guess we need to get into the Jewish situation because I saw something that really pissed me off. Let's do a real story that pissed me off. I saw a poll that came out of, oddly enough, Harvard. Shocking. It says that the majority of America is with Israel on what's going on right now, which is really pissing people off. 80% support Israel. Sorry, I was getting the story loaded up there and making sure it actually loaded. So Americans overwhelmingly support Israel in war with Hamas, according to a poll. More than 80% of Americans are siding with Israel among the war, blah, blah, blah. Survey found that 84% of respondents sided more with Israel in the Israeli-Hamas war compared to 16% who sided with Hamas. Did you notice that language there? Did you catch that? Sided with Hamas. Not sided with the Palestinians. Sided with Hamas. And I went over and found the poll. It Harvard had something to do with it. Where Harvard caps Harris poll. And I went over and looked at it, and the wording is proper here. It's not sided with the Palestinians. It's sided with Hamas. But you scroll down to the next paragraph. Broken down by age, 52% of 18 to 24-year-olds said they sided more with Israel, while 48% said they sided more with Hamas. Hamas is a terrorist organization. They're a fucking terrorist organization. And almost half of 24 and under support them. 48% of people whose frontal lobe hasn't quite developed all the way support Hamas. So we have a lot of stupid kids, not just stupid kids, because I don't think you can blame it just on stupidity. I really don't. I think you have to blame it on indoctrination. This is what kids are hearing. This is what kids are being told. Kids are being told, the poor Palestinians, to the point where they're literally siding with Hamas, not even realizing, or maybe some do, but I bet you most of them don't even realize that Hamas is a terrorist organization. They think it's just people fighting for the freedom of the Gaza Strip and the Palestinians and their oppression in the open air prison. %48 of 18 to 24-year-olds said they side with a terrorist organization, and that's not the fucking headline of the story. Look, I think it's great that Americans are on Israeli side on this one, because the Israelis are in the right this time. They were attacked by a terrorist group, and they're kicking the shit out of them. I'm okay with that. Alan, thank you so much. Who says, good morning, monkey. Good morning, sir. I hope you're well. Have a good night, Molly. To me, a much more telling headline here is a slim minority of American youth are siding with terrorists. Remember what we watched yesterday? We sat here for almost 2 hours and watched Hassan Piker, who, by the way, is mostly watched by young people. And that's what they're taking in. They're taking in the kind of nonsense that retard said. Just doesn't matter if it's true or not. Does not matter at all. What reality is, got to go out there and be angry and hate whatever is seen as the colonizers. They love to talk about the colonization over there. These colonizers. Where else do we hear the colonization? Oh, yeah, right here in America. We hear it. The Australians hear it a lot. The British are starting to hear it a little more. Their colonization was outside, and each of us have made our own country since then, so they don't get as much blame as they used to. But Hassan and Piers Morgan was funnier than crap. It was so stupid, so dumb. It is insulting that people listen to that guy. Anyhow, yeah, that poll. Look, it gives me a lot of faith that America's not falling for the bullshit. Hey, P-Dog, what's up, man? You want to hang out? I don't know how late he's going to be up tonight, but it is a weekend, so I know he's not doing his show in the morning. I'm glad that people aren't falling for the typical media bullshit, because the media's already switched. They were on Israel's side until we had the bombing of the hospital, the bombing that wasn't. And we've started to see the switch in the narrative. And I'm glad to see that despite a whole bunch of news coming out about it, despite a lot of the social media folks out there, it's not taking, which isn't something we normally see. Normally what we end up seeing is the opinion slowly sways. So to see that it's not quite working that way gives me a little bit of hope. As somebody who watches the news and realizes just how the indoctrination cycle works, that feels good. But looking at that number of young people, 18 to 24, who do you side with more? The Jews or the terrorists? And they're like, I mean, probably the terrorists. Now, in fairness, the question is, who do you side with more? But that's still siding with the even if you're doing it because you think Israel's wrong, you're still siding with the terrorists. Who fucking does that? Speaking of terrorists, P-Dog, my friend, how are you?
Is my mic on?
Yes, I can hear you fine.
Okay. Hi there. Hello. I was not expecting to be up this late, but I was thinking around with a new channel that I'm putting together, and poof, here I am, the one that you love, asking for another day.
I'm happy that you're awake. Omar, thank you so much. Who says balls back at you?
Oh, and hi to all the people saying hi to me in the chat. I was waiting for your link, so I wasn't paying attention to them.
It's all right. They're used to me not saying hi, so you're fine.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. I make it a habit, but it's hard to when you have this many people on.
It is, and then I feel bad if I miss people. So there's very few people I say hi to. Of course, Nuts every night when I see her and remember to. And otherwise, it's not that I don't like everybody else. I love everybody. It's just there's too many people. It's a good problem to have, my friend.
Yes.
So before I move on, what do you think about 18 to 24-year-olds siding with Hamas?
Oh, they're being taught communist, Marxist, critical theory bullshit. That's what I think. And so they're being indoctrinated in this oppressor thing, not knowing. Oh shit, sorry about that. I gotta turn. Hang on.
Got some music going.
Where is that coming from? There.
That's coming from you.
First of all, huh?
I said that was coming from you. You're breaking up a little bit there too.
Oh, am I?
You're good now.
I think that I should have fixed it now. Okay, so yeah, so I had my friend on last Thursday talking about this, and this whole colonizer thing, or the one I hate to hear the most is the open air prison and occupied.
Oh,
right?
God.
Yeah, because they had this agreement that they would split up this place, right? And supposedly the Palestinian Arabs said that they were going to abide by that, and but then they kept attacking Israel, right? Because they really don't think Israelis should live, right? And so
exactly,
and so they, and so, but the whole occupied territory that was done in 2006. They left. They got out of Gaza. But when they say occupied, they think that the Israelis shouldn't be there at all. They think the entire state of Israel is occupied territory. And it's interesting because when we went through Indigenous Peoples Day a while back, and people were like, "Oh yeah, the Palestinians have been there for thousands of years," or Mia Khalifa with her, "The Palestinians have been there for thousands of years." No. If you're going to go to the first people that were there, well, in any kind of recorded history in all three Abrahamic religions, the Jews were there.
Yeah, the Muslims aren't even thousands of years old. They
didn't exist.
They're like what, 1600, almost 1700 years old?
Yeah, I mean, I think it traces back to the 800s, but Muhammad was in the 1300s, right? Something like that. I don't know. Whatever. It was
around the 700s.
It was way past the time of Christ, and the Jews were there before Christ.
Real quick, Omar, thank you for the subscription. I appreciate that. Thank you so very much. Yeah, the whole occupied land thing. Look, that's just how land has changed hands forever. And we
Well,
became civilized. And after World War II, we're like, oh, we don't take land anymore. And I'm fine with that. But we can't then be like, well, what everybody did in the past was wrong. Because if you trace it back far enough, we don't know who held what fucking land originally.
no, we don't. Well, if you think about it, I mean, the Romans controlled the land for a long time. Like,
Yeah.
and you know, but obviously they're not there anymore. Everyone's conquered land, and even if you say here in the United States, oh well, you should give this back to the Indians. Well, which tribe? Because they were conquering each other and enslaving each other and eating each other in some cases. Jack,
Jack,
Hi,
my
fellas.
friend. Good evening.
Good evening. Sorry, I had to escape an open air prison for tortious interference.
Yeah, but the whole open air prison. Look, Gaza and the Palestinians get billions and billions and billions of dollars of aid, right? But what do they spend it on? Well, as my friend Wendy said, who I had, like I said, my Jewish friend whose daughter lives in Jerusalem, so she's really concerned about this. They use the money to build tunnels and buy missiles instead of creating their own infrastructure. Oh, Israel, you're turning off our water and turning off our electricity. Well, you've been getting billions of dollars. Why didn't you build a desalination plant on that big piece of water that your land's on, and electrical, generation something? Why do you?
Let me get this. Poker, thank you so much. Who says, sup? Should I run for mayor? Go for it. Absolutely. No, we've talked about the whole infrastructure thing. We went into it a bit last night. They've had the ability. They just never do. And they just whine and like, but the Israelis turned off our power. Why are you relying on them for that?
Right. The Israeli said, this is going to happen if you don't give these hostages back.
Yeah.
And so, the best thing I heard on this was, can't remember the guy's name. He's a funny guy. He's saying,
his name is Mr. Jack.
Mr. Jack. Okay. Mr. Jack. Yeah. Nick Freitas, I think his name is. Anyway, he's saying that, the problem with this whole situation, and he said in military terms, the Hamas did the F around part, right? And everyone wants to do a ceasefire, but you haven't had the find out part. If you don't have a good find out part, they're just going to do it again. So no, they got to have a good find out part that's so good that they find out that they probably shouldn't do it again, or they will be incapable of doing it again. And then you can try to have another peaceful solution until the next assholes come up and try to kill all the Jews. So anyway.
Well, you brought up some of the people being held over there, and that makes me want to talk about this thing. A couple of Americans were released from the Gazan Strip over there. The terrorists were like, we're going to let a couple of them go. They let an American mother and daughter go.
Oh, joy. I'd like to hear their story.
Donald Camp, thank you so very much. Hey guys, please share with Jack and not Jack. I appreciate that. Thank you. And Poker, is it wrong to not care about this conflict, USA? No, if you don't care about it, that's fine. And I understand the people who are like, I don't care what's going on over there. But if you do care at all, I don't understand how you're on the Palestinian side is all. How and especially in the case we're talking about, how you're literally on Hamas's side. That was the question.
That's the problem I have. I understand sympathizing with the Palestinian people that are caught up in this bullshit, even though here's a solution. How about you get rid of Hamas? What a crazy idea.
I want to read this from the release of those two hostages. Abu Abiyada, I think, said they released the citizens, and this is a quote, for humanitarian reasons and to prove to the American people and the world that the claims made by President Joe Biden and his fascist administration are false and baseless. This is they're not releasing them because they're good people and like, oh yeah, we shouldn't have taken them. They're literally doing it for propaganda, announcing that they're doing it for propaganda, and we're gonna have to hear, but look, but they let some hostages go.
It's amazing, isn't it?
I hate to break it to you guys, but Hamas is playing by Middle Eastern rules of finders keepers. If you find some civilians, you get to keep them until a pallet load of cash is dropped off by the United States. That's the game. I'm sorry, that's how it's played. The fact that you guys don't know how to play the game, not their fault, really. It's just finders keepers.
The way you're talking about that, did you see? I forget which was it. The New York Times. I think it's. I want to say it's the Times. Don't quote me on this. Where's this at? Users of X, formerly Twitter, reacted with a fury Thursday when a photo caption in the post said Hamas had detained the children of an Israeli woman featured in a news story.
Yes. And they were like, are we being detained? And he's like, yes, under maritime law.
Editors quickly agreed that this was an egregious choice of words and changed the caption to taken hostage.
Because they got called out on it.
They said detained, huh?
They said detained.
Yes, there may have been a shoplifting or stolen bicycle incident, and they had to get to the bottom of that.
This is real quick. It's the Washington Post. That's not the New York Post, the Washington Post. Go ahead, Jack. I'm sorry.
I mean, are we surprised? I got a couple I got to grab here. Thank you, Evolved Potato. The reason why the Palestinians don't build stuff like that is because Islam is a religion about war, about destruction. They don't build, they attack, destroy, and anything they don't destroy, they steal. Well, I'm not disagreeing with you, but it's really important to have a lot of missiles on hand just in case. Look, it's obvious that at some point the sea people are going to return, and Hamas just wanted to be ready in case they're invaded by boat by the 4th century BC. Thank you, Uncle Adolf. Happy Valley gives a -10 to Hamas. Got to get those to Hamas's goal. Got to get those numbers up.
Good Lord.
Yeah, well, they're amateur hour, dude. They don't have your numbers, Uncle Adolf. And thank you, Alan, for the generous donations. His morning, Jack. Morning, Alan. Hope you're doing well.
Yeah, speaking.
Let me get this real quick. Poker, thank you so much. Who says one country's hostage is another's prisoner? Sticks. I understand what he's going for there, but I don't necessarily agree with that. What were you saying there, dog? I'm sorry.
Oh, I was just saying, I'm speaking of many malfeasance. The New York Times did have a photo of the blown up hospital. Did you see that?
Oh, do you have one?
Oh, here, let me.
Is this the one that they released the first day that's not even the right building?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's so bad. That is so bad. And, you know, it's, let's see. They even said that this was, you know, they have the headline is strike kills hundreds at hospital, but the little words over the thing says it's in the southern area, but it's a blown up building. I was dumbfounded by that whole story. I was like, wait a minute, what?
There was a lot of that going around where I saw 2 or 3 different blown out buildings when that story was released. None of them were the hospital because they didn't have the pictures of the hospital yet.
Right.
By the way, I did read today that the number of dead is down from 500 to 100 to 300, and that some people have even marked it as less than 50.
Well, look,
I'm gonna go ahead and say it was probably like 7.
They were saying it was 500 within an hour of the time that it supposedly happened. So how did they count that many people, first of all, in that amount of time? But then you look at the parking lot that it hit, there might have been 40 cars in that parking lot. So unless they were having a BLM rally in the parking lot, there weren't 500 people there. Okay.
Well,
there wasn't 300 people there. So I'm thinking half a dozen. Maybe
There's
dozen.
video from that night of that parking lot, of them moving stuff around in that parking lot, and there's no fucking bodies anywhere.
No,
That's
there's
not to say nobody died there, but if hundreds died, they should have been just packed with meat. It should have been everywhere. No, hundreds did not die there. 100 didn't die there. I would be shocked if it's above 20, honestly.
I agree.
Besides, their whole thing is that those people were all there because they were sheltering. Who the fuck shelters in the middle of the parking lot where that bomb blew up?
Well, Evolved Potato makes a good point. They did have 10 double-decker buses there. So, you know, they could have been full.
Mighty Balzac, thank you. Flattering Gaza would cause... sorry, I'm...
Flat.
Is that supposed to be flattening? It says flattering. Flattening Gaza would cause millions of dollars in improvements. Yeah, I mean, probably save some time. I'm tired of the bullshit about it. I really am. And I'm sorry, there's too many. Jack, you sent me that article from I forget where it's from, where they're talking about the big hubbub that happened with the Harvard letter about this.
And it was the New Yorker. Yeah.
The New Yorker, thank you. And it starts out talking about how that letter got written. And for me, I don't even care that they didn't mention the Hamas intrusion into Israel and killing all the people. It's the fact that they just blamed Israel for everything. And that's at the very beginning of it. That's how it starts off. That's the problem. Thank you, Poker. All I care about is that we don't spend U.S. tax dollars. We spend U.S. tax dollars on Israel all the time. We are an ally of theirs. I have a problem with us sending money to Hamas, which we've started doing in the last few years, and which Biden, somebody mentioned it in chat, Biden just gives Hamas a couple $100 million, and we get 2 hostages. Coincidence? No, it's for humanitarian reasons. That's what the real thing is. It's humanitarian.
Yeah. So I was kind of laughing about that. The $105 billion that they're gonna. Was that right? $105 billion, right?
I don't think it's billion. I think it's a couple $100 million.
Okay. I just had it right here. Let me find it here a second. Because
at least that I've seen, it hasn't got to $1 billion yet.
Oh, you're talking about to Hamas.
To Hamas, yes.
Just Hamas, yeah.
Just
okay.
Hamas.
I had Biden's speech here. What do I do with it? Because the other night when he gave the speech, first he was outraged and deeply saddened, of course.
Of course. Well, you have to be deeply saddened.
That was about the hospital, though.
I love when politicians are deeply saddened. They never look deeply saddened when they say it. It's like, if you're deeply saddened, why are you smiling? Maybe they just don't get human emotion. They're like Data, trying to act human and aren't.
That's always a possibility.
I did want to show this too, because this made me laugh. This is from Reuters. This is one of their headlines. Disinformation surge threatens to fuel Israel-Hamas conflict. A story which took 3 people to write, by the way. The day before, they wrote, Israel airstrike hits Gaza hospital, hundreds dead, health officials say.
The health officials say now.
Well, it's the Gazan Health Ministry.
Because first it was Hamas, but the health, they're lying their asses off. Period.
You had 2 different numbers that came out. Hamas came out originally. The first number we got was 300. And it was less than an hour later that the health ministry of Gaza came out, which, by the way, also run by Hamas, and told us it was 500. But there's something funny about our press going, hey, the disinformation it could cause a problem the day after they were all spreading disinformation. Information that didn't make sense in the first place. Because even if they leveled that hospital, chances are they wouldn't have killed 500 people.
All right. Well, Monkey, would you mind if I did a little installment of my favorite self-indulgence known as Mr. Jack Solves It?
Please.
Because I have the facts behind this. Just bear with me, gentlemen. I know what really happened because I found a photo that reveals the truth.
Oh, God.
Good.
Indeed. Now, I know you're thinking, oh, it's Hamas, oh, it's the Israelis. That's the back and forth story they want you to tell because that's the one you're expected to tell. But you know what the world needs now is the truth. And the truth is that it's just a little more chaotic than that. It was the Joker. There it is right there. There's the proof. Photo from the parking lot. That's why there were not 500 casualties, because Batman got the evacuation order through, and thankfully Commissioner Gordon and his men were able to evacuate the hospital. That's why the propagandists can't accept this, because they don't want to acknowledge that Batman's real. And they sure shit don't want to give the Joker credit for this. So it's very clearly the Joker did the Gaza hospital bombing.
Sounds like. You're probably right.
I think so. I think I've got this locked up, as the kids
And the
would
Batman
say.
is real because he was in my chat this morning.
See?
So there.
See? Yep. And you just said it. Batman is real. There it is. There's the connection.
Yeah, I heard it. Thank you, Poker, who says, as an aside, have we ever fixed Flint, Michigan? It's Flint, Michigan. We're never going to fix it.
Flint water.
If you mean the water problem, I don't know. I doubt it's done yet. If they're even still working on it, it was a good talking point there for a while.
I think that was more a Riddler thing. This one's definitely the Joker, though.
I don't know how you find out that people in Flint are retarded. Have you ever been to Flint?
You ever been to Flint?
I just assume they all are. Anyhow, let's talk about the speakership, because Jim Jordan has dropped out of the speaker's race after a third failed vote. He's like, yeah, all right, fuck it. I won't run.
Yeah, the fucking GOP are idiots.
Oh, yeah.
He was their best candidate, the one that would have gotten the most votes. Why don't they just hand it to Hakeem Jeffries right now? I don't know why they didn't do that today. I expected it, honestly.
They are. Well, did you see the letter that was put out by Gates and Mace and all of them who basically got McCarthy kicked out? They put out a letter today. Let me bring it up on the screen here. And it touches on what happened here. It says, dear colleagues, the recent passage of the motion to vacate the speaker has caused rancor, hurt feelings, and acrimony in the House Republican Conference. While we stand by our actions, it is our goal to proceed forward with our colleagues, our teammates, our fellow Republicans in a manner that embraces reconciliation. It has been suggested the conference cannot move forward until there are consequences for each of us. Let's stop right there. Thank you, Poker. Both sides are hell-bent on revenge. USA, stay out of it. Talking about Israel and that. Israel was leaving them alone until they started shit. I'm sorry. I don't both sides what's going on over there.
No,
but anyway.
FA and Israel's doing the FO.
This is the part. It's been suggested the conference cannot move forward until there are consequences for each of us. They go on to say, hey, look, you can even kick us out. We'll accept that as long as we move on. And in this case, they were specifically asking for Jordan to be made the House Speaker. This is what it boils down to. It's what I've been telling you guys. This had nothing to do with Jim Jordan. This has everything to do with them being pissed off that the status quo has been upset.
Mm-hmm.
McCarthy wasn't supposed to get voted out. When he was, Scalise was supposed to get voted in. And when he wasn't, fuck you guys. We are not letting anything else happen. You will give us our way. Ragnar, thank you so much. It was Godzilla. The people aren't ready for the truth. That's why 2 carrier fleets, so they can bring King Kong to do battle like the simulations, like the movie.
I considered that, but I didn't think there was enough destruction.
That's the parking lot, right?
Yeah. Read that post.
It is very small on my screen. What's it say?
It says the strike on a Gaza City hospital was the single deadliest incident of civilians in Gaza since the war began after Hamas's October 7th attack.
Oh, don't worry. They'll have a more deadly one soon. I promise you.
But wait a minute. The single deadliest incident, which probably was 30. I mean, look, how many cars are in that lot? 1, 5, 10,
maybe 25, 30.
18, 19, 20, 25 cars in the lot.
Yeah.
But 500 people were in them.
It was
you know what it was? It was a clown convention. Okay. And all the cars had just like 50 people in them. So
I solved this earlier. They had all been shrunk down by Rick Moranis with his shrinking ray, and they were all gathered in that parking lot, and then they got killed by a boom.
Maniac Man says no speaker means they can't continue spending money. Right
on, man. Where's my cheer rate for that? The
problem is they should be spending money. They need to be passing a budget. That is their job. And if they had the balls, they would spend less money. That's what they're supposed to be doing. And the problem is that McCarthy was a fucking pussy ass bitch who just did what every other Republican does and gave the Democrats their way. And the Freedom Caucus finally stood up and said, no, we're not doing that shit anymore. I am all for nothing happening. Don't get me wrong. I've championed that for a long time. However, there is certain things they are supposed to do. And if we don't, shit. This is going to end up being used to give the Democrats back the House.
Yeah, they're going to get the House back because of this nonsense, because these people are acting like children. One of the things they're supposed to do is capitulate to the Democrats, which is what the Republicans believe fully, apparently. So, when McCarthy walks in to meet with Biden to solve this debt crisis ceiling thing, yeah, he just caves and gives them whatever they want. That's what McCarthy was doing. He didn't follow a fucking thing that he promised. So that's the uniparty way. That's what neocons and rhinos do. They just cave in like cheap suits because they're bitches. And that's what they want to go back to, because then they can just point fingers at the Democrats and say, look how mean and bullies they are. Give us money for our reelection. And then they continue to not do anything.
I want to talk about a very serious story that I feel like it's not getting enough attention. And
we can talk about the Joker again?
No.
Oh.
We're going to talk about a growing problem. On your screen right now is a gentleman. I don't know if you can see that thing hanging down between his legs. Don't worry, that's covered, YouTube. That is not. We're not actually showing it. Those are his testicles. That's his scrotum.
That poor man.
His scrotum, it just keeps growing and growing and growing. It actually sits on the floor as he walks.
Wow.
I didn't know that could be a thing.
Well, you have a new nightmare to worry about. Can you imagine fall down the stairs on those?
Oh my God. It'd probably be easier to go down the stairs. I could just hippity hop it down.
You'd be blinded in pain. Be like one of them bouncy ball things that she used to deal with the handlebar on it. Remember that?
Yeah, hippity hop.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's what they were called?
I knew what you meant.
I didn't know they had a name.
I had
Yeah.
to hit it up. Yep.
Real life Randy Marsh. Yeah, it's like the South Park episode where he grows his nuts real big so he can smoke dope. I saw this and it blew my fucking mind. I did not realize something like that would be a problem, and that they haven't done any kind of surgery thing to fix it or slow it or make it more comfortable. He says he hasn't been able to sit on a toilet in years because or even use the toilet. He has to pee standing up in the shower. There's video of it.
How does he poop?
Just I guess lifts it.
Wow.
Yeah, with a forklift. What's he lifting it with? My God.
Well, if he can't use the normal toilet, let's just stick in a vacuum up there or something.
Maybe he poops on the floor and cleans it up, man. You do what you got to do.
Is his testicles swollen, or is it his scrotum just expanded really big?
Well, I don't. It says that his scrotum is grown, and I think it mentions testicles growing, but they're not real specific about it.
Is it
Thank
like some
God.
kind of giganticism, or
They don't know, or at least in the video that I saw, that it's undiagnosed. They don't know why it's happening.
has he tried finding the Romani tribe that he pissed off and apologizing? Just, I mean, that's the first step, right? I'm sorry. Humility.
Where's Lorena Bobbitt when you need her?
No
I'm
doubt.
Yeah.
Poker, real fast. The Dems have done a Republican move of taking victory from the jaws of defeat with the conflict. It's embarrassing that the majority can't agree on a speaker. I'm okay with them actually fighting it out over a speaker. The fact that they haven't been able to decide on one yet is an issue.
It's childish.
They should have had this fight with McCarthy. They should have been like, no, let's find somebody who we actually all agree on. And instead it was forced on them then, and it turned out how everybody expected.
Right.
But anyway, back to giant testicles here. Can that happen to like other parts of your body? Like just suddenly your ear starts growing?
Well, of course.
Well, it's like giganticism and stuff like that.
You see,
He says it's.
the
I'm
tree
sorry.
trunk ankles.
He says it's like carrying around 3 bowling balls in your testicles or in your scrotum. That's a lot of weight, man.
Yeah.
He has to kind of drag it around. He sits on the couch at the edge of the couch, and that just sits in front of him like a weird table. I just thought the audience could use a break from depressing stuff.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Where's Maradona when you need him?
Oh man, yeah.
Whose name is that? The soccer star? Who's the name of soccer star? Pele's the only one I can think of.
Bend it like Beckham.
Bend it like Beckham. There you go.
Who's the
Ronaldo? Who else is out? I don't know many soccer stars. I don't watch it.
Yeah. And it might be like one of the 5 most famous people in the world, and I can't think of his name.
Well, most famous only matters if you actually pay attention to what they're famous for most of the time.
Oh, Messi. Yeah, that's a name I know, but someone had to tell me to remember it. Oh, hey, I got a question for you. Okay, and this is anyone in the chat. I want to see if anyone knows the answer to this question, because I didn't know the answer when someone asked me this last night. Can anybody name the 2 teams that played in the WNBA finals and name a single player from either of those teams?
No. As soon as you said WNBA, the answer was no.
They have teams?
So apparently the WNBA championship was just, maybe it was last week or something.
Was it really? I didn't even hear.
And apparently I think the television audience was 640,000 people.
Wow.
And that was like the highest they've had in an audience in 10 years.
How many of those were bots?
That was probably their full audience. Let's see. The finals was the Liberty versus the Aces.
Yeah, Aces, which is Las Vegas. I mean, I didn't know that. I did not know the answer. I had to look it up. Yes,
Was it the Generals versus the Globetrotters?
something like that. Yeah. And the only player I could think of was Aja something, Wilson or something. I don't know. I have no idea. I haven't paid attention. The only time I ever paid attention to the WNBA was when the Minnesota Lynx won their second championship, because the first one I didn't even realize they were playing in it, and then it became really popular. Me being a basketball coach, I'm not supposed to know that shit, but I had no idea.
I'm watching some of the highlights right now, and honest to God, one of the highlights was just one of the people dribbling down court, and then it switches to another part of it. It's compelling stuff. Look, nobody watches this shit. That's why they get paid so little. And they're like, why don't we make as much as the men? Because your shit's boring.
There was a highlight I saw, and I saw this highlight. Like, I don't even know why what it was on, of someone blocking a shot, and I still didn't know who was in the game. It was like, okay,
it'd be like asking me, hey, do you know any of the women's soccer players? Like, well, fuck, ask me if I know any of the Major League Soccer players here, and I couldn't name a Major League Soccer team in the U.S. I know they exist.
We have one here in Minnesota. I don't know what they're called. They play
the Minnesota Floyds.
Sure. Sure. By the way, you know who Chrissy Mayer is?
Yes.
Okay, she's doing a show up here. She's up in doing a show in Sartell. I might go up there and see her. And Ricada, she's having Ricada come on stage too, because it's out by where he lives. But she took a picture of herself in George Floyd Square, and apparently they still are selling "I Can't Breathe" hats.
Oh, nice.
And I mean, they sell George Floyd memorabilia in George Floyd Square, and I was like, oh, this is not good. This is not good, because there's a picture of her of some friend of hers wearing the "I Can't Breathe" hats. Like,
awesome.
Yeah, not good, but yeah, I might go up and see them tomorrow.
Cool.
Yeah, I know she's a comedian, and I'm not trying to be mean to her. I don't find her very funny.
Oh no, because chicks aren't funny.
Yeah, right. The only thing I know her because she's been around for a little while, but the only memorable thing for me with her was when Ralph was on her show, Ethan Ralph.
Oh,
and they're having a decent conversation, and then out of nowhere, he just kind of loses his shit for the rest of the show. This is back when people were making fun of him for having a baby dick. Poker, thank you. Can you explain the benefits of the Federal Reserve? No. I'm facetious there. No.
No, the only benefit would be like money laundering and fake bookkeeping.
Yeah.
But those aren't benefits for anybody but the banks.
Well, they have really nice printers too.
Yeah.
That's true.
The printers are really good. I wish I had one in my basement. Anyway.
Yeah, no, the Federal Reserve shouldn't exist. Or if it exists, it should have absolutely nothing to do with U.S. monetary policy at all.
Yep.
Yeah, but back to Chrissy. That was such a weird interview, because I have seen her interview other people and stuff. She's very timid, or at least used to be, when she'd do her interview show. And then she started doing the Dirty Sluts, or whatever they call their nightly show.
Oh, yeah.
Or her and what's Urine Girl?
Brittany Venti.
Thank you. Sometimes Star Wars Girl shows up there. I can't watch. It's not entertaining to me. No offense to any of them, but
you just called one of them Urine Girl, and you're like, no offense.
I was just talking around like this, just wondering what's going on, and I don't know.
Yeah. Hiking for North, thank you so much. P-Dog, who is your all-time starting five by position? Oh, that's a good question.
In what sport?
I'm guessing basketball, yeah.
Basketball? Well, let's see. Do I really have to do this?
You don't have
Jordan,
to know,
Jordan has to be my shooting guard.
Sure.
Larry Bird's my small forward. I'll put LeBron at power forward and put Larry at small forward. Although I think Larry Bird was better than LeBron James, except for longevity. Oh God, probably either Wilt. Oh no! I might put Tim Duncan at small
At
forward.
center. Oh,
No,
okay.
small forward. No, Tim Duncan could play smaller power forward, but I'd still take Bird because Bird's just a fucking winner.
Yeah,
And
it was.
Probably Wilt at center only because he's so dominant, but Shaq too. I mean, it's kind of toss up. Or Hakeem.
Not Kareem.
I love Kareem, and he played for 800 years, so that but
Skyhook for the win, baby.
Skyhook for the win. Holy shit. And probably Magic at point guard.
Oh yeah. And I just want to point out, you're naming these people off. The majority of them haven't played for more than a decade now.
No. I tell you what though. Big dude at Denver. I can't fucking think of his name. The foreigner dude is phenomenal. He is so good. His passing is amazing. The guy's won the MVP the last couple of years. And someone tell me his name in the chat because I can't think of his name. And there's a lot of great players. But LeBron is still playing. I mean, he would be the closest one.
Like I said, I'm sorry, you had one. I meant to say only one playing.
Yeah. I mean, who else is like the one who probably doesn't get the props that he should is John Stockton.
Oh yeah.
I mean, if you look at his stat lines every game, he's 24 points. He probably has 12 assists, 5 steals. I mean, it's and probably as a guard 8 rebounds.
Well, even you take basketball is one of those games that if you don't play it or you're not a huge fan of it, you might not understand how much teamwork actually matters in it.
Mm-hmm.
Because this guy gets the ball and he shoots it. You look at somebody like Magic, who, as good as he was shooting and stuff, his assist is what makes him so amazing. Man. You look at Jordan, who dominated his whole career. They only had the championships for a little time. It's when they finally got the team right that things went well for him. But I can hear Jack falling asleep over there because we're talking about sports.
And last person I'll put in the mix would be Steph Curry. Steph Curry might be one of the most amazing players I've seen in my lifetime. That includes Jordan. That includes anyone else I've named already. Jokic, yeah, that dude is amazing.
Curry, for the record, I think he gets props, but I think he's underrated for how good he was.
No, and he has the assists and the shooting, and he's all around game.
Yep, they had Kerr, Pippen, Harper. If you go back to that time period, Jordan without Pippen is just unheard of. Although there were probably better players to be in there than Scotty. But anyhow, Jack, how you doing over there?
I was just going to torture you guys by making you listen to me list my assemblage of the Justice League. Because I was starting to fade out there, but because I don't know who like half those people are, and I have no idea what positions are in basketball or whatever the fuck you're talking about.
Sure, yeah.
So sorry.
No.
I just don't care.
I brought it back around. I brought it back around so you could be part of the conversation again.
I appreciate that. I would have just started reading comics after a while. I figure about an hour in, you probably forgot I exist. So. But thank you, Merchant of Death, who says, I'm more popular than the WNBA. Also, the shipment of AK are in Cincinnati. I don't know what that last part means, but yeah, you probably are more popular than the WNBA.
Wait, how many people did you say watched the WNBA finals?
The television audience was 640,000.
I just want to put that in perspective. I have a video with over 200,000 views on it.
Yeah. Well,
a small ass YouTuber like me has 200,000 views. They got 600,000 for a championship on national television.
Championship final. Brutal.
That's amazing.
No, that's is that the Cume? No, it wasn't the Cume. But that was like the highest they ever had was 640,000. The lowest they averaged between 620 and 640,000 every year. That's it. And they wonder why I don't get paid more.
I wanted to try something. I don't know how well this is going to work, if this is going to screw up the internet or not, but there you go, guys. We're going to throw that in the background for right now.
Ah, the Ducks. I haven't seen the Ducks in a long time. They used to be in these things. Used to have those in God, what are those called?
Oh, the little short streams that he would do
in the moving pictures.
The video.
Yeah.
I knew that.
Poker, thank you. Ukraine needs to pay taxes. Also, Asian women. Asian women. There you go. No, if we'd been talking about football, Jack, I probably would have actually lost time. But I'm not as big a fan of basketball. And I'm sure that if me and P Dog got into a deep basketball discussion, I would get lost about halfway through.
Yeah, me and Chat would be talking about some crazy stuff while you guys were. There's like going to be like 5 people that are all on board and critiquing whatever you're saying, and the rest of us will just be having our own dinner party.
I did watch part of an interesting thing. Hang on real quick. Thank you, Mighty Balzac. Jack played it left, right, out in high school. There you go.
That's good.
Yeah,
That's good.
I mean, it's accurate. I was not popular in high school.
Freaking social butterfly.
What's his name? Jason Kelsey, the center for the Eagles. Last year,
the guy whose brother is dating Taylor Swift.
Yes, his brother is dating. The Swifties are funny. They're like, now Travis Kelsey will be famous. Like, really?
Oh, come on, Kelsey. Whatever the fuck that guy's name is, he's not Taylor Swift famous.
He's not, but he's within football, where we're talking about the fame coming. He was one of the let's be honest. He's one of the best people to ever play that position.
Yeah, you football nerds. Nobody cares about football anymore.
Well, he's been in enough commercials, even though if you don't know that he plays for the Chiefs, you see his face a lot.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
He's on the Cool Ranch Dorito bag right now.
And the Pfizer commercial.
And the Pfizer, yeah. He does have a commercial for the jab out, you guys. But anyway, his brother Jason plays for the Eagles, and they played each other in the Super Bowl this last year.
Right.
And Amazon has
really did they mention that ever?
They might have. But Jason, last year, he had decided it was going to be his last year playing. And so he started recording everything. And after the Super Bowl, he gets together with producers, and they actually produced a documentary about that year, including the end of it where he decides to go ahead and play one more year. And there's a moment at the end where he's talking about it. He's actually welling up and stuff, talking about it, and the decision to finish playing or not. And he's like, this is beating up my body. He's not on any anti-inflammatories at the time, so his body is just killing him, because his job is literally every play to run into somebody. And he's like, it's killing me. I got a nice family. I've done good for myself. He's won a Super Bowl before. They might have lost this last year, but he has won. He's like, so I'm thinking I'm going to quit. And then he goes, but where else am I going to be the best out there at doing something? And it's one of those moments when you realize that the people who are professional athletes, it's literally their whole life. So when they retire, that's like their entire life is just ended. And
it's not like they can't do something else.
They can, but literally from the time they're old enough to hold a ball, they've been holding a ball. You hear a couple of stories now and then where it's like, oh yeah, I decided to start playing in high school. Most of these kids have been playing since Pee Wee League.
Since third grade, yeah. Usually start flag football in second grade sometimes.
Hi King, thank you so much. He says, Monk, check the bird site, sent important message. I'll check that out.
So what you're saying is they were like, look, if you play another year, you might get a bang Taylor Swift.
Yes. It's just one of those weird things I think about from time to time where for a normal person, it's like, oh yeah, you have to go get a new job, no big deal. Or in this case, he's rich enough he could just retire and not have to do anything else. But it's literally been the only thing he's ever really done. And that's got to be such a hard thing to deal with. It's hard enough if you have been in a job for like 20 or 30 years and you retire and that next morning you're like, well, what the hell am I going to do with myself today? But that's something you started probably in your 20s, right? It's not shit. Oh, there you go. What is this? It turns out vidIQ has a plugin showing when videos are monetized or not. Using that plugin, it shows only SSSniperwolf's most recent videos have ads turned off. I'm curious about that because I wonder if vidIQ can show whether or not if it's monetized when it goes live. Because that would be different if it's still monetized. Okay. Let's say I put up a video and it's monetized, and then it gets demonetized. I don't know if vidIQ would show it from its original state or its current state. So that would be something to question about that. I'm not saying they're wrong. It's just as far as I know, YouTube doesn't have the ability to only shut off monetization for current videos. They demonetize the whole channel.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
Wait, what now?
Talking about SSSniperwolf. Here, I'll show you. I'll put it up on the screen.
Oh, you were that was the show today.
Yeah, that's the topic of the show. But so here's the picture. This one shows that this newest one is not monetized, but this one over here is.
Oh, is this her? That's her. That's SSSniperwolf.
That's Sniperwolf right there. Yeah.
Okay.
Isn't she just a quirky little teen in her 30s?
Yeah, look, she's just said she just did a whoopsie going to someone's house and trying to dox them. No, I think that what likely happened was they told her you need to take monetization off for the next week. They didn't demonetize her whole channel.
They suspended her probably a suspension or whatever.
Oh, I don't think they even gave her that. They're gonna probably let her monetize everything else, and then just say the videos that you post this week you can't monetize, and then this whole thing will be forgotten.
So what did you do now? What did she do?
She went to another creator's house and posted a picture of the house on Instagram.
Oh, well, that's not as bad as what the White House did.
No, we haven't talked about that. Real quick, Poker, thank you. Enough spending. Why has no one criticized the SS? I feel like the SS have been criticized a lot. But yeah, we didn't talk about that the other day. Joe Biden, the White House, they put out a picture where they showed the faces of some of our Delta Force
special ops guys. Yeah. That he was shaking hands with them, and they put the picture out, and then they quickly deleted it. But
after an hour,
the internet's forever.
Yeah,
Chinese will use AI and they'll scour the internet for the photos, and then they'll identify them. They'll turn it over to the Russians, who will then turn it over to an assassination package to the Islamic, right? And
Joe Biden docs special forces. Good job, jackass.
Well, don't worry. When their caskets come by, he'll look at his watch a few times.
He'll be real concerned about that. I mean, he's the idiot. Before Joe Biden's the one who tells us SEALs Team 6 is responsible for killing bin Laden.
Mm-hmm.
He's the one that let that out. Joe Biden is not a smart man, and he hasn't been for a long, long time.
No.
He's got that horrible stutter.
Dementia, yeah.
Even before the dementia, man, he's just a retard. The stuff that comes out of this guy's mouth is insane. And this is why they keep Joe Biden in a closet until he becomes president. And even then, they mostly do. He's known for being stupid and saying stupid shit. But suddenly when the election comes around, that all goes away. And suddenly he's this elder statesman instead of this fucking retard that people have to apologize for constantly.
Monkey, we had to stop the mean tweets.
Yeah. Monkey just noticed what I just noticed about Biden. I've been saying this about Biden for a long time.
Yeah, dude's retarded. So
my whole issue with the election, whether you talk about interference or whatever, is how the media just absolutely covered up for what a retard he is. No, he picked up this stutter in 2015. He's never done or said anything bad. Trump's the liar. Biden literally had to drop out of an election for it. And I saw it was about a month ago. I ran into some people who just found that out.
That's amazing.
People who follow politics, like, did you know Joe Biden had to drop out of an election? Yeah, for being a lying prick. We did have a story come out today that Joe Biden's brother wrote him a $200,000 check the same day he gets, I think it's $600,000 from somebody who gave him money to help the brand.
Yeah, I saw Comer talking about this.
Yeah. The Democrats been like, show us a direct link. Now, on the check, because they released a picture of the check, it says that it's for a loan payment. It's a loan repayment.
Labeled loan repayment. Comer thinks it's a false characterization. James Biden just received $600,000 in loans from AmeriCorps, a failing hospital company. And he received this money based on the promise his family name could open doors for them and help them get new financing. They were failing, and there's something about they had something, the government, they needed some government assistance or something, or I don't know. Here, I can read it here if I look long enough.
Where did Joe get the $200,000 to loan out? That's another good question. This is in 2018, so this is after he's left office. This is one of the things I've been beating the drum on. He leaves office. I was so poor, I had to get a loan from Obama to move, which, by the way, their moving is paid for. But that's the lie we're told. And then he comes into office 4 years later, and his net worth is like $11 million.
Well, Joe Biden was one of the highest paid speakers on the speaking circuit.
Sure he was. Tons of people were out there. Yeah, I want to hear that retard talk.
Just like Kamala Harris will be after this presidency.
Thank you, Poker, who says, investigate the card state being enacted. I don't know what the card state is. I'm not sure what that is. Oh, man. This world. There's a lot to love about this world, but if you read news and stuff, there's a lot that's just depressing. A lot that'll make you question, your sanity, the state of humanity. We read the other day about that professor who was like, I can't believe all of these kids are supporting Hamas. Where have we gone wrong? Well, the whole education system has. When Trump wins, you had a whole lot of people who are like, we beat him and you don't have to worry about it because the blue-haired feminists are just on college campuses. And since then, we've seen the rise of mutilating children and giving them body-altering drugs that will never get out of their systems, in the name of inclusivity. Our legislature just passed a bill to take out the word woman from a breastfeeding bill. They changed the law because the law said women when there was this breastfeeding bill, and they changed it to individuals. That's where we are. The culture war is a real thing that needs fought. And unfortunately, the people with any kind of common sense are losing. There was a bit. Oh, do we have the video? Oh, I want to watch that one. I forgot about this. This is from like 2 days ago. The video with the chick with the tattoo on her neck. Oh, I gotta find her. Dog, you know what video I'm talking about here?
It's not one of the ones who got a job offer rescinded, is it?
No, this is a woman who went to the doctor with her many kids. Now, she doesn't tell us how many, but she has many, many kids. And she ran into an issue, you see, filling out the paperwork.
I know it's on my timeline if you can't find it.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it on my timeline. I know it's in here somewhere. I just can't. Let me see if I can find it over on yours. Yeah, and we're gonna count the warning signs at the beginning, and I don't know if I have enough fingers because the warning signs right out of the gate. Holy shit!
Yeah,
this chick screams, "Uncle touched me."
Uncle Bad Touch.
Good God, how many days ago was this?
It's probably about 3 or 4.
Bubba put it in the chat.
What's that? Oh, thank you, Bubba.
Put it in the chat. Yeah, I haven't seen it.
Yeah, that's our girl. That's our girl.
Oh no, that's the New York Times bombing. What the hell is that?
All right. Come on, load up. All right. So, warning signs. We got the gauged ears. That's a 1.
Mm-hmm.
We have the nose ring.
Septum.
She has a pierced lip here. It looks like it's pierced over here too. And the neck tattoo. I'm counting 5 right now. Am I missing any? Oh, maybe the sweatshirt too.
Yeah, that's probably from a cartoon of some sort.
It's a girl power Jolly Roger there. It's got pigtails. Do you see? Look at that. Look at that. It's it's cute.
It's kind of toss.
All right. So she's going to tell
Punisher and the what are the
What's that? You broke up there for just a little bit.
Oh no, it's kind of a toss up between Punisher and a Powerpuff Girl.
Oh yeah, there you go. All right.
I just took my kids to the dentist and I'm sitting there filling out all the paperwork, which for all my kids, it's a lot. And on the relationship to patient, I'm putting parent for each and every one. And after I'm done, I give a huge stack like this thick.
I fill out a lot of paperwork for doctors. Do you know how many kids she has to have for a pack of paper that thick?
Well, they probably all have different dads.
Do the kids just fall out at this point?
Yes.
Does she own her own short bus?
Oh.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not even kidding, because I have a lot of kids. Papers to the assistant, and they're looking through it, and they say, well, can you just write mom on this line? And I say, oh, I'm non-binary.
Can you just write mom on this line? I'm non-binary. You're still their mother, retard.
They look at me like, and then say, well, can you just write mom on the paper? And I said, I'm non-binary. I don't use mom. I'm a parent. That's what I call myself. She literally rolled her eyes at me.
Did you just assume her
gender? Good, right?
Good.
That all she did was roll her eyes. She is far more constrained than I would have been.
What gets me is I know quite a few people that have no idea what the hell non-binary is. They've never heard anyone say it, other than me when I'm making fun of these retards. I've had to explain it way too many times because normal people don't know this shit. They don't care. They go to work, they come home, maybe they go to the grocery store, maybe they watch a little TV. That's about it. They're not watching like network TV because it's boring shit. They're watching like, Hulu stuff or Netflix. They're not they don't know. A lot of people don't know this pronoun crap.
I mean, how does the child describe instead of my mom and dad, they say my parent and parent?
No, they have parent and paycheck.
There you go. Parent and that guy I met one time. All right.
So she's a stay-at-home
me.
Here's my favorite part of the video.
And looked the other way and just walked off. What is this world that we live in? Why is this so complicated?
Oh.
What? Don't you know how special I am? Why won't you acknowledge my specialness?
It's not that complicated. You're the one making it complicated, you tattoo neck bitch. All you had to do is write mom, and there's no complication at all. Now, one of the reasons I wanted to bring this up is because I got into quite the argument over this because somebody's like, yeah, you're just being mean to her because, I just don't understand that non-binary is a thing. Well, that's because it's not. It's made up. And somebody told me, and I'm not kidding you, that I need to look into biology.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit. Yeah, that's not biology. That's psychology and quackery. My answer to that is, I'm sorry, I don't speak that dialect, and you can't make me speak a dialect that I don't speak. It's like, if I'm in Lithuania and people are speaking Lithuania, I'm not going to demand that they, I'm going to try to work with them and hope they know English, but I'm not going to make them speak a language they don't speak.
I'm going to give her back the papers and tell her we don't accept that here. Mom, dad, that's the kind of thing we accept here. And if you don't fill out the paperwork right, we can't see your kid.
Kids, all 14.
Well, yeah, her brood stack of babies. God damn.
Yeah, look, her delusion is probably fostered a little bit by whatever welfare system she's probably on. Because let's face it, this woman is not adding anything to society. She probably doesn't have a job. She probably lives off child support and whatever welfare or women, infant, and kids program they've got there. So she's just a parasite, and she's a delusional one.
But this is the kind of stuff I'm talking about. That this is what we're expected as rational people who understand the English language to put up with.
Yep.
She puts up with the violence that woman imposed on her for rolling her eyes.
Right.
And so the bruises and, cracked bones that, are caused by that is complete violence.
True.
Oh shit, I didn't mute that one. I am so sorry. Excuse me, guys.
That's a trick. He's gonna do it again.
Sorry, earlier today my nose just started running and taking off, and it's been an issue. So sorry about that, guys. I did not mean to.
I didn't notice.
I thought I'd muted the mic. I've been doing that all night. That's the first one you guys had to hear. But I am going to wrap up here, ladies and gentlemen. Bubba, you want a game tonight? I'll leave this up to Bubba. If Bubba wants to play, we'll go play some Phasmo. Otherwise, I'm going to take the rest of the night off. Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you for the donations. You guys are so very kind. And Poker, yes, you should run for mayor. P-Dog, anything you want to shell out, man?
Sure. Well, first of all, I just want to remind you that next week is Asexual Awareness Week.
What?
I have a list of all the LGBTQ holidays here
All right.
that I saw
I'm sorry.
here, and
I need to stop you. Asexual is not something to be celebrated. If you are asexual, it means you.
it's asexual. It's
No,
asexual
asexual
awareness.
is not
Not-
normal.
not a holiday.
Asexual means you have a medical problem, either physical or psychological. Period. It's not something to be fucking celebrated.
Or you're really ugly and nobody wants to touch your no-nos.
That's not asexual. That's nobody wants to fuck you.
But within that week, on the 26th is Intersex Awareness Day. So it comes in the middle of Asexual Awareness Week, which they're not related, but they overlap. Not to be confused with Spirit Day, which was 2 days ago, which is supporting LGBTQ youth. But the entire month of November is Trans Awareness Month. Okay, I was going through this a couple of days ago. Do you realize that you know how the most oppressed people in the world have like 30 holidays?
Yeah.
There are only 3 months in the year that do not have some kind of LGBTQ awareness or history or whatever month. It's very, very humorous. About every 2 weeks there's something. Except for January, August, and December.
Johnny, thank you so much. Asexual for those that reproduce by spores, right? I think you're wrong there, dog, because technically August is part of gay summer now.
Oh, okay.
Remember, it's not Pride Month anymore. It's Pride Summer.
It's Pride season, yeah.
Pride season,
okay.
yeah.
Oh shoot, there's a sorry. So I was supposed to be shilling something, right?
Yes,
I can't remember why it was supposed to say. So anyway, yeah, I have a show Morning Light Live Monday through Friday at 10 o'clock Eastern on my channel. But I also have I just opened a new Instagram and YouTube accounts called Marty Got Jokes. No Marty's as in, but Marty as in how black people would say, oh, Marty got jokes.
Marty got jokes.
And I'm moving I've been doing all these little joke videos on Instagram and my other YouTube channel, and people really like them. And I thought, well, they're kind of clogging up my personal travel and whatever, stuff. So I said, I'm going to do a dedicated channel. So I just started that channel on YouTube and Instagram, Marty Got Jokes. I probably have a link to one of them somewhere. Oh gosh, darn it, shut that up. See, I hate that when you open one of those things.
Oh, God bless.
So I'll put the Instagram link in the chat. I only have 3 videos on there right now, but there'll be 100 within the next month because I'm going to take my entire backlog from my other channel and move them to this one. But mostly just dad jokes and puns because that's what I like to do.
Nice,
and that's all.
nice.
All right. Bubba says just take the night off, so I will be taking the night off. Jack, anything you want to show?
I'll drop a link to a video. As always, thank you so much for the donations. You guys are awesome. And I will put P-Dog's new channel link over on Rumble too, because he forgot.
Yeah, X-Bubba Hotep put it up there. I don't even have a Rumble window open. Thank you, X-Bubba Hotep.
Got you covered.
I'm not gonna be anywhere. I'm gonna go rest and deal with my nose running like this. I hate this sound.
Well, somebody should write a song about this. It'll be like Tears of a Clown, but it'll be Snot of the Monkey.
Snot of the Monkey.
It'll be sung to shock the monkey.
I started singing the lead hook in there in the beginning, and as soon as you said Snot of the Monkey, I was like Peter Gabriel.
Yeah. Like shock.
Right?
Yeah, there you go. All right,
Snot
guys.
the monkey.
Jack, a pleasure as always. P-Dog, thanks for joining us, my friend.
Hey, thanks. I appreciate it. It's fun to be awake at this time of night.
Yeah, with the timing, we rarely get to have you on. It's always fun to talk to you. So, my love to the family. You just had a grandbaby recently, right?
Well, no, grandbaby is 1.5 years old.
Oh, you have another one coming.
we have another one coming in
That's
January,
what it was.
so we're very excited for that too. And my son just got married, and yeah, we're doing good.
That's awesome. We have one on the way here in December. So
Oh, congratulations.
granddaughter number 4. Because my life is not ruled by women enough. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for coming. Take care of yourselves. We love you, and we will see y'all next time.
Bye, everybody.
Ciao.
I'm not gonna sing about snot coming out of my nose, because that is really fucking gross. Shit, I just did it.